Hello, hypermobile human. Today, I would love to share with you my favorite way to start my hypermobile clients on their core strength journey. Perhaps you're new to realizing that you are hypermobile. You've been told that you need some core strength. You might be in a lot of pain from your hypermobility and just trying to figure out how best to deal with all the new information and the different sensations that are happening. Starting to build your core strength is super important right off the bat, and we can do it in a low intensity way that will really support your strength journey going forward and will also help reduce pain, reduce inflammation, increase circulation, improve your breathing, all the things that will make your hypermobile body feel better. I'm going to show you how to do the exercise on your back to start, and then I'll offer it seated as well and show you what you can do with some props and modifications. Before we get into the movement, one of the key things to know about the human body is that the core muscles, so imagine this is your torso, so you have your hips here, pelvis, rib cage up at the top, head, up here, legs, down, arms, you get the picture. One of the key things to know is that your core muscles, and particularly your deeper stabilizing core muscles, are meant to hug in and stabilize your spine, stabilize through the torso. When they hug in, it means they're contracting, they're shortening, and so we should be able to feel that gathering in of the tissues when we're engaging those muscles. That's nice because we can get some feedback from our body and know whether it's happening or not. We can work on the more superficial core muscles and then work our way deeper as well. So just remember, when your muscles are engaged, they will be drawing in and hugging your pelvis, hugging your midsection, a nice gentle hug, particularly if you're lying on your back. It might be a stronger hug if you're doing something with more load. But if we're lying down or seated, we're not moving around much, it's going to be a gentle hug. So in just a moment, we're going to come on down to our backs. Make sure you're on a surface that you can stay for a little while comfortably. If you like to have a pillow underneath your head, you can have that. And if you can, and if you have something handy, maybe a soft weight or a ball, and we'll try a few things to help you connect to your core with these props and without these props. All right, come on down to your back. Find a comfortable position on your back, wherever your pelvis lands. You want your knees bent. You can always put a little bolster underneath your knees or some pillows, just so that the legs can be fully relaxed. And we're going to start by using our breath, our exhale in particular, to help engage those core muscles. So I'll have you take your hands and place them on the front of your pelvis. Take a nice big inhale and kind of let your belly and everything expand up into your hands. And then as you exhale, you want to let your belly sink down and reduce the pressure on your hands. So you're going to inhale and exhale. So if you video yourself, you should be able to see your belly lift and lower as you breathe. Just let it go as big as you need and as low as feels comfortable. So with a hypermobile body having a reduced level of proprioception, usually if you have issues in your connective tissues, then we're going to use a few tools just to give the body a little more information about what's happening sensory-wise. If you have a ball or a block, you can use that. Just have your hands resting on top of the ball, nice and heavy. And you're going to inhale and exhale here. Although this may look the same as having your hands against your body or against your clothes, it's actually a different sensation because we've got that wider push from the ball because it's a little bit flat. We don't have the hands touching the skin, so it's different to the brain. And then you can let your hands be heavy and create some resistance for those deeper core muscles. So as you inhale gently lifting up into the ball. And as you exhale, you're soft. If you didn't want to use the ball, you could just use some weight. So I've got a 2.5-pound soft weight here, and that's going to go on my belly. And same thing, you're going to inhale and exhale. Each time the lowering is happening, there is that contraction of those core muscles, lift of the pelvic floor, lift of the diaphragm. Once you feel comfortable with that, you can keep the weight or keep the ball, whatever feels good for you. And I'd like you to take a few more breaths and notice as you inhale and exhale, is your pelvis tilting back and forward? For some people with hypermobility, they start as they inhale to arch and lift the back up. And as they exhale, they lower the back down. So they're rocking across their pelvis and getting the rest of the spine involved. But what we're looking with our core strength to start with is to keep the pelvis stable. So we're looking for stability through the spine as you inhale and exhale. If you're not sure if you're moving, you could always put one or both hands behind your hips and notice if you're pressing down and releasing into your fingers, or if you feel your tailbone on the mat, you could notice if there's movement across the tailbone as you breathe. You want to stay as still as a stone, making sure we have the breath to start with. And then the next layer we're adding is making sure the pelvis stays stable. The final layer is finding a long exhale and getting right to the end of that contraction of the muscles with the breath. So you're going to inhale any amount and then exhale, ideally through the nose if you can, trying to exhale all the air out of your lung. And you might feel a little deeper gathering of the core muscles. You might also not feel anything, and that is totally fine. You can try it again with the weight, without the weight, with your hands. All you want to start with is just making sure there's some movement there. As you exhale, everything's drawing in, and as you inhale, it's going out. We can try this in seated as well. So for your seated exercise, you're going to find a place on a chair, ideally, that you can sit up nice and tall in your spine, and then you can feel your sitting bones at the bottom of your pelvis. You're going to stay there. And again, you can bring your hands onto your belly, and you're going to inhale. Let it expand. And exhale, the belly is going to gently drop in. And you're trying to get the muscles to follow the movement of the rib cage. So you're not, again, trying to force anything. We don't need any more kind of stiffness and gathering in our body. We're trying to soften and encourage the brain and the body to work together to engage the muscles. If you have a ball or if you have a block, same thing as when you're on our back, you could have the ball or block just on your belly, kind of around the belly button or a little bit below. You're going to hold the block there, a little bit of pressure, inhale into the block and exhale. And the block creates a different kind of pressure, a different sensory input for this area. And that might be a little more effective for you to feel and create that lift and lower, that inhale and exhale. And we're going to add that next layer of making sure the pelvis is stable. So as you inhale, there can be a tendency to rock forward, and as you exhale and everything gathers in and the back muscles work as well, there can be a tendency to rock back. So you're going to find a center position where you can feel maybe your sitting bones against the chair, or you can have your fingers underneath you a little and make sure that you're not rocking across them. You could also put something behind you, put your block behind you, or put your weight behind you. And as you exhale, you want to make sure that you're not rocking into your block and feeling it behind you, and you're lifting away from it as you move, that you're staying right against the block. Just something to give your brain some different sensory input around your hips. So your brain can be like, oh, there's something new happening here. We're trying to create a change. What do I feel? Where are the hips? Can we build more connection between the hips, core, and the brain? The third layer is extending the exhale. As you exhale, you're just trying to make it a little bit longer each time. And you work your way up to getting all the air out of your lungs. And if you're sitting, you might feel a little bit more the pelvic floor muscles gathering in and lifting up, because there can be more sensation on the pelvic floor since you're sitting right on this sitting bone. Gently breathing in with no anxiety. We want to make the brain feel safe and comfortable with this change, this new engagement of the core in concert with the breath. Now, what happens if, as you inhale, your belly drops, and as you exhale, your belly lifts? This is just an adaptation that your body has made, your brain has made, to protect your hypermobile body and your hypermobile pelvis. This exercise is exactly the gentle start that you need to begin making a transition to contracting the muscles on the exhale and letting the muscles lengthen on the inhale. The other thing I love about this exercise is that physiologically, when we exhale, our heart rate slows. So when we exhale, we're telling the brain it's okay to relax, right? We're down regulating the nervous system. It's going to help every other system in the body as well without placing a lot of extra strain on your body. It seems small, but I guarantee you're going to feel a result. I'd love to hear how this goes for you. Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video.